Dixon, accurate and accountable, committed to serving you. This is Fox 24 News at 9. Your life, your news.
Despite Governor Asa Hutchinson saying he would not support refugees coming to the state, a local organization is gearing up for the arrival this fall of international refugees. Plus,
I want to continue down the path that we've been going. If you want change, you've got to get out there and try yourself.
the two candidates vying for the Benton County Sheriff face off. We have a live report as they share their vision with voters then.
They can't steal the driver's license.
Are Kansans in the driver's seat when it comes to protecting their identity? Good evening. Thank you so very much for joining us tonight. I'm Joanne Bauer. Our top story, it is a controversial topic, relocating international refugees to the natural state. Arkansas's governor has said he opposes it. However, tonight a local group working to bring refugees from all over the world to Northwest Arkansas. Canopy NWA is working to bring 100 refugees here over the course of the next year. Fox 24's Chelsea Brown now with more.
We all know that what is happening in Syria, for example, is unacceptable.
President Obama's plan of settling 10,000 Syrian refugees by the September 30th deadline is coming to fruition right here in Northwest Arkansas. According to Canopy NWA Director Emily Cranlin, the refugees could come from Central Africa, Iraq, Syria, and Iran.
The State Department decides the refugees who are going to come into the United States, and then from there they partner with nonprofit refugee resettlement agencies, and there are 9 of these nationally.
The Lutheran Immigrant and Refugee Service is the agency helping Canopy. Headquarters Director Nina Zellick says the U.S. State Department oversees the refugee resettlement program.
We're going to be entering into a contract with Canopy, and the approval process for our new site is heavily regulated, and there's consultative work that has to be done with the community.
Lynn says they'll help refugees find apartments, get Social Security cards, and enroll them in cultural orientation courses.
The idea is that somehow within 90 days of their arrival that we've kind of plugged them into the services that they're going to need ongoing, and we've gotten them a job and they're able to get around on their own, and then from that point on we're kind of more in a supportive role.
In Fayetteville, I'm Chelsea Brown for Fox 24 News.
Lynn says they are looking for volunteers to help. Well, just last year, Arkansas Governor Asa Hutchinson said refugees would not be coming to the natural state. The governor saying the federal government's ability to fully vet refugees would be a danger to the state, and he would withhold state funding to settle them here. He addressed the issue shortly after last year's Paris attacks.
I know the president is trying to show support for the challenge that Europe faces, but I think there's better ways to do it than to jeopardize the security of our citizens, particularly after the Paris attack.
We reached out to the governor's office today for comment. We're told they are preparing a response. Well, Fox 24 is your local election headquarters, and as local elections get closer, 2 candidates trying to grab the sheriff's position in Benton County facing off in a debate tonight. Fox 24's Hillary Hunt joins us now live from Benton County Sheriff's Office with more. Hillary.
Hey, Joanne. Well, relatively peaceful debate tonight as Chief Deputy Sean Holloway and Glenn Latham faced off in front of voters, both of them hoping to take over this office that you see right behind me, the Benton County Sheriff's position. Now, Latham is running as an independent on the ticket and Holloway on the Republican ticket. Both are asked a number of questions tonight, including racial profiling and use of force issues. Holloway hitting on importance of community policing and continuing the positive work of Interim Sheriff Meyer Gilbert, while Latham says he wants to focus on getting deputies to rural parts of the county and cleaning up the reputation of the department. Both glad to be in front of voters tonight, while each hopes to grab your vote as you head to the polls.
I'm the chief deputy there at the sheriff's office now and have been a part of a lot of the positive changes that the current sheriff has put in place, and I want to continue down the path that we've been going.
I think it's something that's going to be a positive. I by no means think I have a grandiose idea that I'm going to win the election being an independent in a Republican county, but you know, you always got to get out there and try. If you want change, you've got to get out there and try yourself.
Both Both candidates say over the next several weeks they're going to be making contacts with voters using those grassroots efforts like knocking on doors and making phone calls. As for you, the voters in Benton County, if you'd like to cast your vote for Benton County Sheriff, that will take place on November 8th. Live from the Benton County Sheriff's Office, I'm Hillary Hunt for Fox 24 News.
Meanwhile, in Washington County, Fayetteville candidates coming together tonight for a forum. The city wants to ensure voters are fully informed before early voting begins on October 24th. And on that ballot, 5 of the 15 Justice of the Peace positions up for grabs. But many in Northwest Arkansas may not know exactly what a JP's job is. Tonight, Fox 24's Channing Barker preps you before you head to the polls. Channing.
Hey, good evening, Joanne. When you hear the position of Justice of the Peace, it can be a pretty vague term, but as we found out, these leaders are actually the ones handling your county dollars.
Do you guys know what a Justice of the Peace is?
No.
Nope. You know what a Justice of the Peace is?
Justice of the Peace is a law officer.
So let's get the answers from the expert. Steve Zaga is the Washington County attorney and a former Justice of the Peace. He says there's much more to the position of JP than the name may represent.
A Justice of the Peace is a county legislator. They vote on the use of your local tax dollars. I think that's probably the most important thing. That person that you send here to Fayetteville votes on the allocation of your tax dollars, how to spend that on county government resources.
Those resources cover everything from county roads to the jail and the sheriff's office. And with 15 JP positions, the hope is that all of Washington County is represented in the quorum court, and that all residents understand that responsibility. Do you know what a quorum court is?
Not exactly.
Do you know what a Justice of the Peace is in Washington County? Okay, so let's ask your brother. Do you know what a Justice of the Peace is? But seriously, in an election that is full of surprises, we want you to be informed before you cast your ballot in Northwest Arkansas.
Getting informed on your local elections and your local officials is every bit as important, probably, to the average person as getting informed on the presidential elections and the Senate and congressional elections.
All right, so we had a little bit of fun with this story, but in all seriousness, there are 15 JP districts, and 5 of those races are contested just in Washington County. But if you're not sure who your Justice of the Peace is, just search Justice of the Peace on our website, fox24news.tv. I'm Channing Barker. Joe, back to you.
Thanks for getting us up to speed, Channing. Meanwhile, in Springdale, folks can meet with candidates for City Council and the House of Representatives District 89. This is going to happen Thursday from 5:30 to 7:30 at the Jones Center. They'll be talking about their campaigns and answering questions. It's free and open to everyone. And in your money, October 15th quickly approaching, and that means it is almost time to pay your property taxes. The annual October 15th deadline does fall on a Saturday this year, so technically you have until 4:30 on Monday, October 17th before your payment will be considered late, and you can pay your taxes at your county collector's office. Some counties, by the way, do offer online payments. The Rogers Police Department wants residents to know a level 4 sex offender has moved into the community. Sean Blackenby is now living at 201 West Sierra Boulevard. The level 4 sex offender, by the way, is identified as a sexually violent predator with sexual or violent compulsions and impaired judgment or control. In Springdale, police need your help tonight finding a young man involved in a disturbance on Saturday. 20-year-old Jonathan Medrano was last seen in Springdale. He was wearing a black shirt, red shorts, black shoes, and red socks with a marijuana logo. Medrano is wanted for domestic battery in the 2nd degree, and police say they do not believe he possesses a threat to the public. If you see him, please contact Springdale Police at the number you see there on your screen. In your wellness tonight, medical experts are urging you to get your flu shot, but new research shows kids who have used certain forms of alternative medicines are less likely to get one. Researchers at Penn State University studied data from 9,000 children between the ages of 4 and 7. Overall, 43% had gotten the flu vaccine within the past year, but children who had been treated by a chiropractor, acupuncturist, or massage therapist had lower vaccination rates than those who had never used any non-conventional health care. Meanwhile, today was the deadline for students who are not immunized, that they needed to turn in their exemption forms to school. According to the Arkansas Department of Health, state law allows families to opt out of vaccinations for philosophical, religious, and medical reasons. But if a dangerous and vaccine-preventable disease breaks out like the mumps, outbreak here, the state may require unvaccinated students to stay home, which is what's been happening. Melissa Thomas with Fayetteville Public Schools says while some families do opt out, the district recommends students get immunized to reduce risk. Well, nearly 1 in 4 children in Northwest Arkansas are food insecure, but those statistics for hunger surpassed by those of food waste. According to Fayetteville Waste and Recycling, 40% of food is wasted in America, and tonight Fayetteville city leaders are working to change that. Waste coordinator Brian Pugh says 35% of the city's waste comes from food. In 2013, the city of Fayetteville set a goal to divert 80% of the city's waste from landfills by the year 2025. Well, for the last 2 years, city officials have been working on a plan to reach that goal. The proposed 111-page plan just finished last week, and it lays out ways for homes and businesses to get back on unnecessary food creation, as well as learning to compost. The chef at Arcega says they already do a lot of these things on a daily basis.
If there's extra food at the end of the night, we let our employees take it home. Anything that's about to go out of date, same with that. Employees can have it.
If we can educate the public about not wasting food to begin with and have programs in place to where we could feed people, feed animals, and then compost the remainder, that's what we're going to try to do.
The plan will be presented to the City Council on December 6th. Well, ghosts and goblins will soon be at your door as many celebrate Halloween. Experts say it will be the most expensive ever. Plus,
Hurricane Matthew is a deadly Category 4 hurricane and is approaching Florida.
A state of emergency declared in Florida as the state is in the path of a dangerous hurricane now churning in the Caribbean.
That's right. Matthew is headed towards Haiti over the next few hours as it approaches the Bahamas in a couple of days. I'll have all the information on tracking Matthew coming up in your Fox 20 forecast along